We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store as it will the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Miami Dolphins. Set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night prime time. And they're getting down inside the 30 to 27. So here comes the Raider offense now on the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Haven't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL. We'll have to see what kind of looks this defense is going to throw him as this game moves along, but they're in the zone to start. I do think we'll see plenty of man coverage as we move along, but the first score of this one, incomplete.
Pick up of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now Smith. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Cole now on to punt, and he sends this one away. It's taken on the 25. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So now here are the Dolphins getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Texas Longhorn, their rookie quarterback.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
19, Charger, 19.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing wide is incomplete.
They certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the player was there to slam that window shut.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A short throw caught by Dulcich. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw again. Short throw to be caught by Waller. He is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
First down. First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. And it's the ball away that falls incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit out and back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, ready to throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine. And go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Dolphins, first down. First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
There we go. Here's Devon Achane. And he will take it in for the Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline returning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Riley Patterson now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the drive finished off with a touchdown run from Devon Achane. Patterson back out there to send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And with the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of the game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically,
here's a diving catch right side. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Smith. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. That's Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Smith. That's caught. It's Dante Thornton. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Lockett the man in motion. Back to throw, Smith. And they'll find the open man. That's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40. The Raiders on the move, a couple of big plays in succession.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked up. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
11 more on that one and another 1st down. Smith will try and run with it. And holding it, maybe the wrong decision as he stopped to the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Not a lot of success to be found there.
Well, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Completes this one at Thornton. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Smith now throws. And it's taken in. Ball's been taken in. And they work this near the 5. They'll be stopped at the 6. On 1st down, it's Genty. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right to the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they're going to do it. They'll bring it down to sack back at the 16-yard line. Bradley Chubb. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this 1st quarter of play. Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Gino going to hand it to Genty. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good job there defensively to stop him for a gain of just 4. And that'll bring up 4th and goal.
4th and goal.
7-0 on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up.
A 28-yard attempt.
Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell us end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take, points. You really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's intercepted. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down to the 40-yard line.
This is something we've seen before. We've seen a defense beat Ricky, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none-two plays, and they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But let's have to remember, they did put points on the board, not just 3 points. And in this league, you take points when you can get them, not easily done.
To throw a Smith. The Dolphins get there this time and they bring him down. Drop for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Drop for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. So then 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
Partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
On a 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is fielded inside the 5. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Looking to put a drive together. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
H.N. gets it from the gun. Fast forward for only about a yard after the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into quarterback in the expected passing situation.
That is caught. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Looking again for one. He's got him again. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Up the middle, H.N. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's an
run, and at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Darren Waller. 5 yards out. As his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, Charles, that's a great response drive from the rookie quarterback. Remember, threw the pick on the previous possession. Here, he's able to lead him down and throw it into the end zone for a touchdown.
And I know from the draft analysis that this is exactly where this team wanted to take this young man. They thought his ability to bounce back from mistakes and quickly turn them into positives, that was something they wanted on their team, and we just saw evidence of it right there. This young man doesn't let anything get to him, and he finds a way to come back big.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Patterson back out there to send this one away. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones. Not the ball's going to go post.
Tackle by Ashton Davis up in the secondary. Throwing now is Gino. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought they had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Smith. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
This is taken at the 15. A great return there, 22 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation, because look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence and they'll put more points up on the board.
That's good for the Dolphins. First down.
Here we go, set.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A run straight ahead with Uche. And this will be taken across midfield and in Raider territory. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
It's 3rd and 7.
Let's go.
Back to throw here. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So on 4th down, here's Joe Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. Back deep for the Raiders is Trey Tucker. Fair catch signal for and take it at about the 15-yard line. There's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Smith. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
There's Smith. Loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you get defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Running right, here's Uche. And he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Back to throw. His guys now in stride, complete. They'll take this into the end zone for the Dolphins touchdown. Westbrook Akina from 10 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Partner, remember that old film with Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Extra point try now for Patterson. And it's 23. That drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. And plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And Charles, he's a rookie. He's put it on the ground once, maybe defensively. Now they're saying, okay, we can get this young buck to cough it up 2 or 3 times. He's got to be careful here.
Yeah, they do tend to zero in on the young runners because once one comes out, as you noted, you think there's an opportunity for him.
Well, it's Alex Smith lost it. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
This drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rip, and they get off the field.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Boy, it's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sideline and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
It'll be another 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. A short one here, secured by the tight end Waller. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll try and do this himself. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense. As they'll They'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll look to throw here on first down. Short throw will be caught by Waller. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great.
It's Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Third down, H.A. Burst right there as he'll take us down to the 33. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night prime time, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Looking to put a drive together. Now a play fake here on first down. Passes to him, but he's still able to bring it in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
That's good for the Dolphins. First down.
Let's go now.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. But the man downfield is Waddle. He's got him. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
First down. First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on first and 10. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You know that that's one they hold on to have back. I mean, they did everything right. Got the linebackers commit on the play action. He just flat out missed.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and then flat incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're taking a stand right here, right now.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Darren Waller. Beats in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Dolphins come right out of the locker room and score here the opening minute of the third quarter.
Remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of his NFL thing pretty quickly.
And 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Extra point by Patterson. Looking good. And they open the lead up now to 25. Patterson back out there to send this one away. is up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground with Jinty. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. Now Gino. Got his man, it's Thornton. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's second down. Smith. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's third and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. See it around, and he finds Thornton. And he's going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now Smith. The ball's out from near midfield. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands? Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football without being jostled?
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. And that's his second sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive man or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And partner, it's still just the third quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet, even if he's not getting the sack. He's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Miami set to take over. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance. Okay. And got his man complete. It's a big play there for Miami. 41 yards.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process, and really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
So, 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. He's got it wide open, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They go right back to it for 20 and 1st.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
On play action, they'll throw. And that nearly intercepted. A free safety rolling into position, almost had it, but it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Out of the gun, there's a good A-chain. He's going to close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 15-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But if the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, oftentimes we call that a hybrid combination. Defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a fourth down. Well played.
Mike McDaniel dialing up the risk here a little bit on fourth down. They're going to go for it. Needing the tough yards and running with a fullback. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Mike McDaniel, he's going to ask him to take a closer look at this call, and out comes the challenge flag. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts. Now Smith. That's complete. It's Ashton Jeanty. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. A shotgun snap for Smith. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is great. All the way back.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice for such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like to throw credit to the defense there, right?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. There's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Working to put a drive together. Off of play action, here's Smith. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. But look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 2 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to let it,
He's going to be taken out here. A sack back at the 32. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory in their eyes, and now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and control of this game. Face a charge of stopping this opposing offense, and have done so with ease.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Back to throw, Smith. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Bradley Chubb in there again, yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll see it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on fourth down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a fourth down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Now in Miami, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll give this to a chance. They'll get this to the 22. So they begin to play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
That would all Miller Steiner sent it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the return will stop right around the 25. Defensively, that's how they win zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
After the interception, here's Smith. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Lovely job. Make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That's the latest example. Down by Butler, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. And you can backups in there that will make.
The Raiders on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Lockett the man in motion. O'Connell here on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders trying on 4th down, but to no avail. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they get it there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
From the 29, here's 2nd down and 2. They look to throw. Going up top. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Nick Westbrook-Ikeda with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Dolphins have another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Charles, that's a pretty good response from a rookie quarterback. He's had his struggles in this game, including the interception on the last drive, but then he takes him down the field and puts it in the end zone.
I agree with everything you just said right there. And there's a silver lining to all this, his resiliency. Because let's face it, when things are going bad and you're a youngster, they often continue to go bad. But in his mind and his actions, he said, this stops right here. And I'm proud of the play he just turned in.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Patterson back out there to send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple of yards shy of the 30. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. They're doing some good moves now. This one is getting close to being over, and then trying to hit the reset button starting to run.
He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Here's O'Connell. Under pressure, and they get to him again. Going the books is a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
Well, it's another chestnut, but let's face it, offensively, they got to have some pride here because this has been a worst-case scenario all game for them. Keep putting in the effort. Keep trying to keep your feet up.
It's out. It's loose. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because when the defense got it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
The Dolphins offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that could be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. This will be caught. It's Riley. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock.
Tell you one part of the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Nike 18!
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Number 2 right side and incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. That time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end and have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. Wilson's kick is good. And the Dolphins will add on their lead. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Raiders offense ready to go. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic behind the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown there and give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Once again, it's Genty. And he's up in there after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11. O'Connell looking for the gun. And the man is Tucker. And he is stopped just short of 3rd down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
A short gain that doesn't get him the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. This will be fielded at the 17. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Here's H.A. to start the drive. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Miami 1st down on a 14-yard pickup. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them.
Here we go, set. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
And they take a knee. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.